Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2025 Fall Season Quarterfinals. We got a best of 5 and exciting games of Rocket League ahead of us, but as always, before we get into all that action, I've got to introduce the handsome man to my digital right, Orbital. How are we feeling tonight, my friend?
Feeling good, feeling good. Excited to cast some more Rocket League, especially with playoffs now in full swing, and you know it's going to be exciting because it's do or die time for a lot of these squads.
Yeah, we got two high schools, both 4-1 on the regular season, so it should be an exciting matchup. I'm sure the players are ready to get out on the pitch. So before we get into all of that, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of Zotac for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase all the amazing young Scholastic talent we have here, talent in Scholastic Esports that we have here for WSSEA. But you can show your appreciation to by Zotac to giving them a shout out on social media, hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag Zotac USA when you make that post, and be sure to join their Discord as well.
Yeah, and please go ahead and give a lot of love because they're part of the reason why we are still here, being able to watch a lot of these amazing matches, specifically this one between Hanford High School and Silas High School as well. Hanford won their opening matchup against Rogers 3-1. It was a very nice match, but again, you're going up against one of the favorites in Silas. Silas currently coming into this, as you said, very, very good record, was able to put themselves on the map here. And so for me, that's what I'm very curious about is how well are you going to play? I know you're coming into this cold, and Hanford coming off a hot streak of a 3-1 to put themselves in the playoffs. That is what I want to see continue through this matchup.
Yeah, the coach said Hanford didn't even have a team last season. They had a returning player, then come back as captain this year. They lost their first game of the regular season and then 3-0'd everybody to get into the postseason. For Silas, I mean, they only lost to Kennedy Catholic, which I believe got second place last season. They were able to beat third place of Lake Stevens. So they've definitely been making steps in the right direction. They're also 4-1 like we talked about. So I think it'll be a very exciting matchup here tonight. But I'm not sure I envy whoever wins this because they have to go on to face the winners of that Tenino series up there that does involve last season's champion.
I mean, Tenino is just a wild one to have to pull, but that's how the bracket works, and that's how playoff works. So I want to see both these squads actively show their stuff as well. We got Silas in the deep blue, Hanford in the purplish side of that field. So we'll see exactly how it shakes on out. But again, 3 games and you move on. That's all you really got to hope for. As already Silas getting things rolling with a goal pretty much 17 seconds in.
A holy croissant with a holy goal here from midfield deep out. We see the defense trying to get back. Not a ton of boost in the tank. And I think that long distance shot really just caught Hanford off guard. It's only the opening moments of game 1. We know how those jitters can sometimes affect players. So still plenty of time for Hanford to buckle down and battle back. But they're already dealing with more pressure here from Silas.
Of course, I love the back wall plating as well, making sure to try and bounce it, get some of those defenders off guard. This time around, Hanford rotating very cleanly between all 3. However, rotations can be broken if you don't get some sort of offensive moving for yourself. So I love the fact that you called out that boost control. That does seem to be favoring Silas as they're controlling the ball on the side of Hanford's field.
Silas has been in this program for the last 4 years. They continue to get more players. They've got a senior and 2 juniors on this squad, so they fell just a little bit short last year when they lost to the champs in playoffs, and looking for some revenge here, and they might just get it if they can find a win here. They might go on to play Tenino. So Silas starting off on the right foot, up by 1. Both teams now continuing to duke it out. See a lot of pong action here, which can be typical of game 1.
I mean, it's the feeling out period. What can I get away with? Can I go for more aerials? Are we more focused on breaking the guard line, or are we focused on just straight up scoring individually? Are we doing passes? What works and what doesn't? That is what we call the game number 1 feeling out period. But of course, it doesn't hurt to also win by a comfortable margin. 1 goal is not the end of the world. It's also not a great start to that, kind of that sheer difference between the 2 teams. So for Silas, you're already done with the feeling out period. Let's see if we can get you another goal.
Oh, looking to knock at the net once more. We see Triple tucked into the corner, looking for something of their own. A stop here from Silas, not able to pressure out, looking for the clear. They get a bit of a half one, but Valor through the sky tries to tuck that one in. It was a nice shot, but an even better save here from Silas as they'll now look for something the other direction.
I like it. We're starting to see that long ball movement. Hanford recognizing that we can't make multiple attacks on the net. Instead, go for big sweeping one-off attempts. That's your best way to kind of burn time and look for opportunities of your own. Silas have been fairly aggressive. I wouldn't say overall aggressive, but it's enough. They're also not really following up on their shots behind. So for Hanford, you can take time. You can prep your next angle, prep your next shot on goal.
Yeah, you got to be careful. This Holy Croissant, though, has had a couple cheeky shots already, and there's another save this time from Rainfall as we are on board. Unfortunately, bumping into a teammate here, and got to work out on some of those team communications. Rotations, incredibly important. Those basic fundamentals, we talked about it. Now in the playoffs, sometimes those jitters set in, but Valor on the attack through the sky. Well defended here from Silas, and it's a Holy Croissant again, this time on defense.
I really do like that attempt. Hanford still trying to put the moves down, saying team play isn't really working for us. We don't have the passes perfectly. Let's just look for the shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's no big deal at all. Nice rush around that right side of the net. No big deal, though, as golf here for Silas. Trying to get that ball under their own control. Nice little bottleneck. Valor ramping it up, tries to boost on their own, but going 2 different directions at once will mean there's a lot of time for the opponent to body block you out. We have burned about 3 minutes off the clock with no real response. So you're starting to see Silas do the exact same, stopping with those passing plays, instead going for individual shot attempts.
Well, fighting into the corner here as well, looking for a bit of pressure. Hanford, they had an opportunity, does get touched away here slightly. Holy Croissant over a defender, nobody in the background. And this is where it gets dangerous. Golf looking for a subtle touch. The pass is there, but Hanford able to recollect themselves. They find a defensive stop, but they're not out of the deep water just yet.
Nope. 1 minute left, which means for Silas, all you got to do is play really good defense for that next minute. You don't want to give an opportunity over to Hanford. For Hanford, you got to start putting down the moves. That's going to be a bump on both the Silas members' heads. Not the worst in the world, though, as the ball rolls to that left side field. Are you going to be able to ramp up and get an extra? Holy Croissant looking in that mid. Neither has had a clean shot on the goal. Nice defense from midfield coming out here from Hanford. They need to score a goal sometime soon.
Got to put one on the board if you want to stretch this one into overtime. Rainfall off the sidewall looking for a teammate. The pass is there. The defender can't quite find the touch, but Triple a bit too far forward, and that was maybe a slight missed opportunity there. Maybe wishing they could have that one back, but Rainfall off the backboard. Silas will wisely tuck it away, and Hanford continues to have some issues down there in that red zone.
They really, really do. Now we're going into that extra regular time, and it's only about 3 seconds left. So Silas, so that opening goal took things very, very safely. I will say you can see the number of shots on goal were minor, to say the least. But an overall quiet start to this series. Silas almost biding their time, not wanting to go too aggressive yet.
Yeah, and for Hanford, I mean, they kept it within one. It felt like they were playing much better in the second half of game one. So you feel like they're just now starting to get rolling. I think game two will really get a good test of that. A little bit of hesitation there, I think, is what did it for him. Silas starts off great here in game two.
Not just great, incredible. Remember, they only won by one last time, and it was I would say a rare goal occurrence 17 seconds into the game. I mean, for Silas, that's kind of the bread and butter at this point. And yes, do I want to see more? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you just need to get the goals, and there it is. Nice catch, man. Mister says you wanted a real goal. I'll give you one.
Yeah, I mean, just sticking with it as well. That fight all the way to the end. You see Triple coming in for this one, but there was no boost left in the tank as well. Boost management, an equally important aspect. You don't always need those shining, glowing orbs as well. There's plenty of nickels and dimes scattered throughout here. That pathing, incredibly important. Hanford, they're going to have to fight down from by two, but the nice thing is there's still 4:30 left in this one. There is plenty of time, but again, they've got to start to turn it on here relatively soon.
And that turn on also might mean gambling a little bit outside of that netting. You do need to be aware that things can shake up, but as soon as they step out of the goal, the golf is alive. Truly just shuts it down. Well played to Silas, as they're now 3-0 into this game too.
Yeah, that's senior for Silas here in golf, and finding that third goal. Hanford kind of taking it back across the net there. You got to be careful when doing so. If you're not getting those big booming clears, it's a dangerous position to be in, and now they find themselves down by 3. They haven't been able to find the back of the net just yet. They've came dangerously close a couple times, but still not able to find it. Searching for that first goal here in game number 2.
They're going to be more than okay with that pressure, though, for Silas. You are breathing a heavy sigh of relief. They're starting to look for just kind of, I wouldn't say random goals, but definitely feel more like floaty ones. They aren't pressing as hard, because if you just protect the 3 that you have now, you're more than golden. Remember, it took about 3 minutes we saw any close range action in game number 1 where almost another goal came through. You got 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes to just do whatever you want, man. Mister says, I want to make another goal. That being their second of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're just putting them on in bunches now, and it seems like things really starting to click here for Silas, and that snowball beginning to turn into an avalanche. Crazy enough, with 3:31, it's still time for him to stop this avalanche, but it has to start now, and they can't afford to give up another goal to Silas without finding a couple of their own. So a real tough test here in game number 2. It is only a best of 5, and they go down by 2 early in the series. Could spell trouble. Golf is life from downtown. We'll find goal number 5.
It's a beautiful pass. He knew Hanford overextended. And I did mention for Hanford, unfortunately, the issue that you're having is, hey, you know, we have this position of we want to win and we need to score some goals. Unfortunately, it does require all three of us to step out of the net, which puts you at risk every single time. For Silas High School, you're going to take that opportunity. As soon as you see all three sprint and you got the ball under control, you're going to take that shot all day long, force Hanford to rotate back. And you mentioned it, Hot Sauce. You said, hey, for Silas, you got all the goals, but for Hanford, you need to start scoring back. You're now at what? A goal every 35 seconds is what you're looking at for Hanford if they want to average their way back into this game.
Yeah, and it's not impossible, but you talk about the probability of it, and it doesn't seem like it's there, especially with how aggressive this Silas squad has been. I mean, they continue to quicken that pressure and that presence here. So we find them on the defensive side here, but again, cool, calm, and collected, staying true to this objective there. They just a subtle flick over the top, not having to get too flashy or too powerful with it, just doing exactly what they need to do to solidify a Game 2 win here, because they know they have a comfortable lead. They don't have to get crazy, but they don't have to get complacent either, as Valor will sneak one in over the top.
Exactly what you need. With 2 minutes left, you find that straight angle. And again, for Hanford, you were all on that right side pitch, but it didn't matter. You caught Silas's goalie off guard. You saw them kind of bounce back and be like, oh crap, I left that corner open. It was the tougher shot, but you needed to make that tougher shot happen. Really well done by Hanford.
We'll see if they can begin to build off the back of that goal here for Hanford. It does seem like they are picking up the tempo a bit. Another opportunity in front of the net. Valor opting to collect the 100 in the corner. We'll have a bit of help here for Rainfall, who looks to drop this one down. A bit too much mustard. Secondary touch not there. We'll have some help from Valor. And now Hanford getting a lot more opportunities here in front of the net.
Opportunity was there, but you were just a shy too late. So the ball crossed instead of you tapping it in. But I like that there is space being made overall. Another shot option, and it is there. Valor 2 for 2 here in the second half. This might happen, Hot Sauce, and we keep this pacing up.
Yeah, beautiful passing play off the ceiling here as well. Beginning to heat up, looking for that fire, though. You talked about it. 3 goals, 30 seconds apiece, all very feasible things here in a game like Rocket League. So Hanford, have they found that single spark to ignite the spectral fire? The pressure continues. Another opportunity here, but now a breakaway, an opportunity to flick over the top. Valor pushed off the ball by Croissant. Let's take another look at this one, as not only does he put the shot on target, but he finds a way to put a car-on-car action here as well.
That's Holy Croissant saying, let's get a little bit dirty in the dirt there. Very, very nicely done. And for Silas, it's another breath of relief at the end of the day. You need that goal. You recognize the run when it started. You need to cut that momentum, and that's a perfect way to do it. Once again, it's there. As Gall says, let me in on the action too. You score 2, we score 2. We'll add to the 5 that we had.
Yeah, that was my worry for Hanford. Was it too little, too late? It was such a big deficit to have to come back from. And Silas, I mean, they are playing so consistently well, and they've given themselves enough of a cushion to have a few mistakes, have a couple errors that don't really come back to haunt you, because you've already put in that hard work. 7-2, and looking to close out game number 2. Hanford has to find a way to get 5 in just barely a minute.
Well, it's only going to happen again further and further for Silas. They are so happy about the current range and position that they're in. As long as you don't get too sloppy, you can close this one out nice and neat. You'll be one step away from taking this series, moving on into the semifinals. Maybe even getting some revenge for previous watches of Tenino, who, you know, of course, as we said, are waiting previous champions of this league. For Hanford, though, let's start looking at game number 3, see if any changes can be made, like that one, as Rainfill is able to score on up, put us within 4.
Yeah, and again, it's a great goal. It's going to begin to build some of that momentum and the confidence for the squad. But with 4 goals in 32 seconds, it's not very often that we see that happen. So most likely going to be down 2 in this series is Hanford. We got word from the coach over at Lake Stevens, that they were able to win their game against East Valley. So you might be seeing a repeat of the previous 2 and 3 seeds last year if Kennedy Catholic can win their game against Natchez.
15 seconds left. At this rate, I don't see it happening. However, Hanford showed a lot more gumption this time around, which I'm very, very proud of. Out of the woodworks, it felt like Valor stepped up in a major way. and rainfall kind of followed afterwards. So it's going to make me very excited for game number 3. Sanford waking up. Maybe they can outpace Silas for game 3 and look at a reverse sweep.
Yeah, I mean, it took them a while to find a goal here and through these first 2 games, but it seemed like once they found that goal, it really began to start to flow for this squad. So hopefully they can find a way to win game number 3, begin to work their way back in the series. But man, Silas just looks so comfortable at the moment. It seems like the team communication, the synergy, the rotations, everything very on point here for Silas. So Hanford going to have to play a near perfect game, and they almost get a little justice here off of a kickoff themselves.
I mean, it was just that close. As you see the ball dance while we're here, though, I do want to give a big shout out to LandFest. LandFest, one of the other places that is currently the sponsor of the this WSSEA coming out here, WSSEA. We want to give a big shout out to them for making these broadcasts possible and making it available to everyone. Every $200 raised, of course, as they are looking for donations, is able to cover the broadcast operating costs for one regular season broadcast. So we appreciate all the support here, as LandFest has been awesome in making sure we can put on broadcasts for each and every, as many as we can, Scholastic events.
Absolutely love LandFest. Been with them for 6+ years here, and will hopefully continue to finish out my career that way many years to come. But always doing great things here for such young talent, and so exciting to be back in the booth with you, or we're getting to showcase the wonderful young talent we have here at WSSEA as these 2 teams continue to fight it out, looking for that spot in the semifinals. Right now, Silas in the driver's seat, but Hanford making some great adjustments here throughout these first 2 games. The defense standing strong, but we'd like to see them be able to score first here in game 3. It's Valor through the sky and looking for an opportunity to do so. Oh.
So far, it's being real nice and slow, of course. This pacing is a little bit different. I think that's because Hanford is actually matching pace with Silas. They're getting a lot more technical, almost a Rule 1 to come out here, but it's more just bumps all over the place. Hanford has been so far more aggressive, especially on the defensive end, saying, Silas, we're not going to let you play your way. And I always like to say this, start looking at demos. You're behind, get messy, get physical, get annoying in the opponent. And it really feels like they've done so, chasing not only the ball, but the opponents just as well.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of bumps and demos there. I mean, it helps open up the space down low, and it creates some more pressure here. But Rainfall says, I got all the pressure they need. He's going to rainfall this one into the back. And we see the defensive Silas trying to make that stop, but all 3 committing eventually out of boost there as well, and just not able to get up high enough to stop it. We asked, and we shall receive. Hanford finds goal number 1. Can they hold on, though, and extend the longevity of this series?
I mean, they might be able to. As we said, if you create a little bit of chaos, you can create these 50-50 balls right in front of the net, and it might work again as Golf goes, oh crap, we can't let that ball happen. It happens again as this is another kick. Great defense as Golf is single-handedly keeping this at a +1 for Hanford and not a +2. Again, big shout out for the level of play Hanford have gone from game 1 now to game number 3.
Hey, Golf is that senior. He said, this could be my final season here. I want to try and get a dub and go into the semifinals, looking for some revenge from the previous season. But Hanford hanging on by a thread. They know it's do or die. Their backs are against the wall, and, well, diamonds made from pressure, looking to shine bright like a diamond here tonight. Hanford pressuring again toward the net. There's that bumper, that demo after the play, knocking him away. The help doesn't quite come in there, and Triple wishing maybe they could have that one back. It's Silas on the counterattack.
I will say for Silas, they've had a lot more field domination in every single game. Just feels much messier, and I'll keep saying that to the end of my days. But for Silas in this game 3, Golf has been the life, the blood of the squad. 2 saves so far that were directly on net. By the way, if those saves didn't come through, it would have been a whole different story. Miss coming in from Hanford, as it was actually just a fake. I got faked out. Rainfall with the punt in net for Hanford to go up 2.
Gonna take another look at this one, just over the top. Said, I've had enough. I'm willing to take matters into my own hands. And Rainfall drops another into the back of the net. Up now 2-0. And not only have they found these first 2 goals, but they found a way to keep Silas scoreless, coming hot off of a 7-goal game as well. I think speaks volumes for the adjustments that Hanford's been able to make, and I can't even finish my sentence. Valor says, scoring goals, not without me or not, and gets a piece of the pie here as well.
You know, I mentioned it before, breaking momentum when it comes to scoring in a game, but I didn't mention breaking momentum in a series. This is Silas like we haven't seen them in games 1 and 2. Very quiet, very reserved, not sure how they want to play this. Holy Croissant trying to make space for the team, create a little bit more chaos of their own so they can score, and they do. Man, Mister with the rocket of a shot.
Now everybody has been involved here in game 3 for Hanford. They've got 3 goals on the board, a nice 2-point cushion with 1:11 left. But that's the scary thing about Rocket League, especially with how well Silas has been playing on the day. They are certainly capable of finding 2. Hanford has to continue to stay aggressive. And unfortunately, it's Holy Croissant that sneaks one under. Silas now just 1 away from the equalizer, and they've given themselves so much time to find it.
Silas maybe just giving us a small taste of that competitiveness as well. They said games 1 and 2 were too easy. We had to give them 3 to make it close. However, for Hanford, they said you gave us 3 and we'll try and keep that all the way through. 1 minute left. A single goal can decide it, whether scored, whether blocked, whether to tie up and push to OT.
Could come down to the wire. It wouldn't surprise me. Silas trying to get it done in sweeping fashion. Hanford, they've done a great job here in game 3, and they don't want to let this one slip through the cracks as they continue this pressure. Big booming clears as well. They eat up some time off the clock, but they have to be careful on the rotations. They want to make sure they're able to get back here in time as well.
You know, like it so far, Valor very specifically has been looking like a monster so far. Game 2, now game 3, all theirs. 1 goal so far of 3. Nice redirect again. 15 seconds though. Silas looking to ramp things up. Are they going to find it? Out from the left side comes another teammate. Hanford rolling it into their own favor. But Croissant gets in the mix, man. Mister waiting. 5 seconds left in regular time. Are you going to keep it up? That's a slow roller and you get it in. Golf makes it a tie game with 4 seconds in regular.
How in the world? Golf is life. I mean, again, this senior just wanting to make it happen. That fight, that hunger, it's certainly there. And for Hanford, it's not for lack of trying. I mean, they are fighting tooth and nail through these trenches here. And with 1 second here now, regulation will expire. And it does appear that, oh, maybe, yes, we are going to overtime. If that clock had not expired, that was another goal for sure.
Scary to think about, but for either squad, they are breathing a sigh of relief. No more clock counting down. It's only counting up to that next goal. We've seen some high counters for those OTs. Is it going to happen here? Is it going to end in the next 15? That's the big question. Hanford had a lot of steam earlier, lost a bit of it here. They need to fight it one more time, but you're slow on the defense. And Golf says no worries. 2 for 2 with a save as well. It's a round of 2s for Silas as they take this series.
A job well done by Silas, but for Hanford, you got to hold your heads high. You fought back very well, and you made it an exciting matchup as well. They made great adjustments throughout the series, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't quite enough. So a big GG's to both teams, but we congratulate Silas as they will advance in that bracket. They'll be playing the winner of Tenino versus Lakeside. Tenino, the champions of last season, the team that also put Silas out in the playoffs last season. So maybe an opportunity for revenge. Lake Stevens advancing into the semifinals as well. We're waiting for that final wrap up there of the Kennedy Catholic Natchez game. But what an exciting series we had here. Obviously, Hanford, they began to fight back, but at the end of the day, Silas just seemed to have their number.
Yeah, it's a little bit harsh, especially when you have a game 1 like that, a very slow moving game 1, and then the pace is accelerated. So for Hanford, I think that change of pace really did mess with them in that game 2. Going into game 3, they were a little bit more awake. If that game 3 had been game 1 instead, I feel like we would have gone to, you know, game 4, game 5 along the way. But for Silas, I have to commend their ability to rally back together. In that game 3, I was actually very worried. 1 goal difference, that's okay. 2 goal difference, things are starting to mess up. 3 goal difference, to me, that's extremely difficult to bounce back from. And they made it look so easy in that second half. So we know their strength not only as a team to lead in the goal count, but to also regroup and counterattack in there. That will be a very strong weapon for them moving into that semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the entire series, it never seemed like they really got razzled, even when they were down. Though it seemed like they were very, very
Yep.
comfortable throughout the entirety of that series. So they're gonna need it, in those semifinals. But we got to hear Orbital talk a little bit about Landfest as we were going through that game. But as always, we'd like to put that QR code up there for you guys as well. Just a reminder that this broadcast is a part of Landfest's Scholastic Esports program, and a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, Landfest has done this for over 300 different broadcasts for various Scholastic leagues in both Washington and Indiana. And a reminder that we provide these broadcasts completely free of charge to these leagues, schools, and teams we cover. And it's all because of your generous donations. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for an entire regular season broadcast. So if you appreciate our work and you're able to help out, please scan that QR code and donate today.
Not only that, we want to give a big shout out to all the players that are also playing and maybe looking to the collegiate level as well. And if so, then our last sponsor here, League OS Portal, has you covered, because now you can go ahead and search for hundreds of collegiate esports programs at portal.leagueos.gg. Not only that, scholarships exist for players, shoutcasters, and more. So list all of your talents in your profile that you can actually make for free if you're an IEN student, and go ahead and get started there, because I know a lot of colleges are looking junior and senior year to kind of check all this stuff out. So I do apologize. I am very, very sorry there. Yes, just Zotac and Landfest at the end of the day. So a little bit of a mix up on my end. I apologize. But yes, both Zotac and Landfest, amazing groups overall.
Hey, that's all right. Orbital was jumping in to help us last minute. Tugboat could not be here tonight. So we definitely appreciate Orbital stepping in and helping us out. Always a pleasure getting the cast with you as well, Orbital. But before we get going, we've got to give a shout out to the people behind the scenes as well.
Yes.
Of course, Connie and Taylor producing and running and observing the show here for us all. So a big shout out to them. Of course, everybody hanging out with us in chat, the teachers, the students, parents, the competitors here today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you as well. Don't forget to hit that follow button down below. We've got the Valorant playoffs coming up here tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Pacific. But as always, my name is Hot Sauce. That handsome man to my digital right is Orbital. You guys have been beautiful. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Stop.